Hi, I'm Ian. I'm the author and creator of Cookfulness. I'm here delighted to be a part of the Footsteps Festival. I'm now a member of, which I'm very happy to be, and supporting this incredible group of people doing incredible things for people like me who suffer from various chronic illnesses. The whole ethos of Footsteps Festival is incredible. It's there to say medication is one thing, therapies are another thing, but there are lots of other things that you might find that will help inspire you, help you get a sense of pride, a bit of happiness back in your life. So I'm doing some sessions on cooking. There's also sessions on, you name it, all kinds of things. Poetry, singing, it's brilliant. So I'm so happy to be a part of this. I really hope you're going to enjoy this, my first ever session, and then going forward, hopefully there'll be many more. So, just a little bit about myself. I'm a father. I have two girls, and my wife and our little dog, Alfie, who'll be pitch-pattering around somewhere, I'm sure. He'll probably make a guest appearance. I suffer from chronic fibromyalgia and arthritis. I also suffer from anxiety and depression. It was a slow burn over many years, starting 14, 15 years ago, and got gradually worse with, firstly, mental health conditions, getting very anxious at work, panic attacks, which I'd never had before, through to pain starting in random places which I didn't understand what was happening. But each of them in turn wasn't setting any huge alarm bells off, just that obviously things weren't quite right, didn't know what. I was diagnosed with celiac disease and thought, oh, that must be what it is, let's carry on. And then things got worse, and gradually over time, more and more pain, physical and mental, which made living really tough. I had to give up work. I struggled with anything really. I ended up living in the house. I was in the house all the time. I couldn't walk. I needed a wheelchair, and just concentrating on anything was virtually impossible. And this was for a good few years. This was the situation. As you can see now, I'm stood up. I have a stick, which I need. I'm leaning on the counter, but I'm here. And hopefully you'll hear a bit about my story that you'll resonate with and think, oh yeah, I've been there, done that, or I'm in that right now. And to show you that, one, you're not alone, and two, there are many opportunities outside of the traditional medical support that might give you a bit of a lift. For me, cooking is my therapy. Cooking has become my therapy. It's what makes me happy. It makes me laugh, it makes me cry when things go wrong, but it's fantastic. And cooking can seem completely inaccessible when you are at the worst of your situation with mental and physical health. It's the last thing you want to do. In fact, all you really want to do is eat sugary treats to give yourself a bit of a high, but then you're going to drop rapidly. It's not a great situation to be in, and I understand that because I've been there and I know exactly how it feels. Cooking, though, has given me a purpose. It's given me a reason to be. It's given me my life back, my family, and I'm now slowly improving the quality of life of my life and also of my children, and that's the most important thing. So I'm really hoping cooking will give you that spark too. I'm not going to dive in with Michelin star stuff because I'm not a chef. I'm a home cook. What is a home cook? Someone who cooks at home. That's pretty much it. Things go right, things go wrong. That's what I learned very quickly, is accept that things go wrong, and they will go wrong, and just to have some fun with it. Don't worry about it. So going back to when I was really struggling for many years, myself and my wife I was in every type of therapy possible. Could be CBT for mental health, it could be nerve root block injections, could be operations on my bowel. I had so many different operations, so many different investigations, so many different types of medication, and I ended up pretty much zombified by it all. But that's what you do. You accept that what you're getting must be right, and that's the best you're going to get, and you live with it, because at that time you can't think differently, and outside of your bubble of pain and torment, life's going on for everybody else. And that was pretty much what we thought we'd have for a long time, until 2 years ago I got referred to the NHS centre in Bath, which is National Centre for Pain Services. Didn't know what it was, hadn't heard of it before. I live in the New Forest, so it's not local. But it was almost, this really is the last opportunity for finding some quality of life improvement. So went down, was assessed. They said, yeah, we think you're suitable. That was a bit of a lift. It says, okay, that's something. But then almost a week later, things came crashing down when some scans I'd had done on my hip showed that I had really bad arthritis and had to have both my hips replaced. So that put me back a little while. But I got back on and I went back down to Bath and I joined a 4-week program for 10 people from across the country. And those 9 other people I met, amazing people, all with different types of illnesses, chronic illnesses, but we all had the same story. And that was quite upsetting, but also incredibly refreshing. It made you think that, okay, I'm not alone. I'm doing those things. They've been doing those things. I don't feel quite so stupid anymore about what I was trying to do or not do. Now in Bath, they gave me a realization that the mind and the body are very much linked. So mental health, physical health, one sparks the other, sparks the other. If you try and treat them separately, things don't really work that well, as I'd already found. So looking at what was my body doing with pain, what was my mind doing with pain, what was my body doing with anxiety, etc., was incredibly rewarding. Quite upsetting, but very rewarding. And looking at what the impact of my life had been on other people. So hard hitting, but it had to be done to make you realise that there was some really good things out there if you were prepared to try. They gave me some incredible coping mechanisms which I use every single day, because every day it's not a walk in the park, literally. You know, I'm stood here and doing this video. It's nerve-wracking, I'm anxious, I'm doing my best, but I'm going to do it, and I'm damn well going to do it, because I think I want to show you that things are possible. You know, I'm not someone who says my way's right. It's not. It works for me. It might work for some of you. It won't work for all of you, but that's absolutely fine. That's why the Footsteps Festival is so brilliant, because it's got so many different offerings that you're going to find the one that really floats your boat. So in Bath, they asked me a big question: what is it you really want? What do you want from life? And immediately what I wanted was to be back in my family, to be a part of my family, to be a role model to my children, to be a husband. Things I hadn't been for quite a long time. And then the question was, well, how are you going to get there? And that's tough. How are you going to get there? But breaking it down into what steps could I take to try and get myself there, and cooking was at the very top of my list, because I always loved to cook. Cooking was my passion. My mum was an incredible cook. Learned a lot from watching her, and then from life, from having children, learning how things work. But I'd lost that ability to cook. I'd lost the desire to cook through pain and mental health conditions. It's the last thing you want to do. However, I knew that if I could start to cook again, I could be doing something progressive, something for my family, something for me. So we gave it a go. I had a first go at doing some cooking, and immediately what struck me was I couldn't work out what I needed to do. I'd lost my ability to freestyle, I guess. I couldn't work out what flavours went with what flavours. That had all been mushed up with the brain fog, with the anxiety, with the pain, and with the initial feeling of this is going to fail, you're going to be a disaster. So I had to go to cookbooks. Cookbooks, brilliant, love them. Everyone's got a few cookbooks, I've got quite a lot. Got one of my favourites out that I'd used many times before, years gone by. Opened it up and immediately my brain was saying, no, can't do this. Look at that picture of that beautiful dish. You are not going to be able to make that. So straight away, no, I'm off, not doing this. Look at the recipes. It was so confusing. I couldn't work out what was happening when. Everything was all blurring into one. I didn't know what I was supposed to have where. You now need to zest a lime and I didn't have a zester. So panic stations down, I'm out of here. So everything was saying, no, 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 confirming in my head, you can't do this, it's not going to happen. And I was going to give up, but my wife said to me, hang on, you are knowing what's going wrong here, you know what's not working, so why don't you try and make it work? So I took one recipe and I basically unpicked it, turned it upside down, turned it into a method that I could use. It took me a long time, but I managed to turn it into something that I thought, okay, I can follow this. Made the dish and it was actually okay. That then spawned the idea of, well, why not do this for a lot of people? Why don't we turn this into a cookbook for people who are really struggling with chronic illnesses to say, you really can cook. There is a way to do it. And really through these sessions, I'm going to try and share with you some of the hints and tips that have helped me, some of the ways I've found that make it possible to cook on any day. So today I'm not having the best of days. I'm feeling quite a lot of pain, anxiety from doing this. Hands are a bit swollen, not feeling 100%, but I'm here and I'm still going to show you what's possible and how we can make dishes. I want to really show you that you can want to cook. It's not about having to cook. I want you to want to cook. I want you to think about what is it I can do today? What's going to make people smile? What is it that's going to make me happy? What am I going to be able to do? But we have to start, like I've started, almost at the basics to say, right, let's get some confidence, let's get some pride, let's get some celebratory awareness of the fact that everything you do, celebrate it, because you've done it for the first time or you've not done it for years. Now, cooking for me has given me my role back within the family. It's given me pride in myself, but also my children and my wife have pride now in me, which is so rewarding. And the more my brain is hearing positive things about me, from me or from other people, the more it helps with the physical pain. We're not curing each other, but by heck, they make a hell of a difference when you're starting to think positively rather than years of negativeness. It's given me a passion, it's given me some inspiration. So this cooking has sparked me writing poetry, which I've never done before, but I've started writing poetry. I'm doing some drawing. It's a way of unlocking part of your brain to say, well, if I can do this, then maybe there's other things I can do. It's taught me that it's okay to laugh. It's okay to laugh at myself. It's okay to laugh at what I've produced. And it's okay for other people to laugh at what I've produced or the mistakes I've made. It's okay to cry. It's okay to go, oh no, this has not really worked very well. All these things are absolutely spot on. And you should be celebrating every single one of them, the good and the not so good. So, what are we going to make? So the first dishes I'm going to show you are a very simple curry sauce and a smoothie. Now some of you are going, well, that's not that hard. Well, no, it's not. But if you are coming at this from the perspective of you've not cooked for a long time, you've forgotten how to do things, or you've just not done it at all before, these are two fantastic base recipes that you can use for so many different things. So my whole ethos around Cookfulness is it's not a collection of single recipes. So that really what I'm trying to show you is there's one dish can become many dishes. So the curry sauce I'm going to show you today. In the following session that I do after this one, I'm going to then show you how you can turn that into lots of different curry dishes or completely different dishes, but using that same base that you've made already. A smoothie, I'm going to show you the base of a smoothie, and then I'm going to show you how you can change that and make it different. So it's not just I've learned one dish. I want you to learn one base dish that you can then turn into loads and loads of dishes. Take, for instance, making a bolognese. You make a bolognese sauce with a lovely meat in there and tomatoes. It's not just for bolognese, so you can then add a couple of ingredients. It becomes tacos. Take a couple of ingredients. It's lasagna. It's burritos. It's whatever. So there's lots of different things you can do, and I'm going to show you how you can do that pretty simply as we go on through these sessions. So, what are the ingredients of these dishes? So firstly, if we're doing the curry sauce, pepper. Now this is just a red one, obviously. You can use half red, half yellow. You can mix it up to you. A white onion, whole onion, sliced. Some garlic, some ginger. Now today, as I said earlier, I'm not 100%. I know I'm not going to be able to particularly chop an onion. Not just because of the strength and pain, but also for the danger of me chopping something off that I shouldn't. So, in true sort of Cookfulness style, I'm going to show you what you can use instead. So, garlic. Very lazy garlic. A jar of very lazy garlic. Now, it calls itself very lazy because for people who are okay all the time, it's a bit of a cheat. But for us, it's fantastic because it's in there, it's already done for you. You just get it out of the fridge, put in as much as you need, put it back in the fridge. You're not any waste, and you're not cheating at all. You're being smart. So always have a bit of that in the fridge. Ginger, got ginger paste. Now trying to grate ginger is danger zone. You end up with no knuckles. So using a bit of paste, if you're not feeling up to it, great way of doing it. Frozen onion. So frozen chopped onion is available in every supermarket. I always have at least one bag of this in the freezer. It's fantastic because it gives you such a leap, a good start. If you're not feeling up to chopping an onion, use this instead. And the same with peppers. So chopped mixed peppers in a bag from the freezer. Great. Why not? You know, they're giving you a great kickstart. On top of that, we have some curry powder. This is mild curry powder. I've also got some medium if you're fancying it a bit hot. If you want to go for super hot, up to you, but start with the mild one first. Garam masala. Garam masala is a mixture of spices. It's already made up for you. They vary a little bit depending on where you get them from, but mostly they are a similar concoction. They're brilliant because just a bit of this and a bit of India comes straight in, and that curry smell, that curry taste, they always have a bit of garam masala in. Vegetable stock, just a normal stock cube, some yogurt and some oil for doing some frying. Now, in terms of what you'll need for utensil-wise, if you're going to be chopping, a good knife. Now, I always go for a big handled knife because it's easier for me to grip when I'm not in the best of form. Today, not going to be chopping that much because my hands aren't great. A knife, chopping board, a good pan. Now, this pan here is my absolute favourite pan. I use pretty much for everything. It's sort of a squash wok or a slightly bigger frying pan, but it's brilliant. I use it for absolutely everything. And then a cup if you want to measure out your onion. If you haven't got a measuring cup, just a normal cup, just a cup of everything is all you need. A glass dish for making your stock cube up. Measuring spoons. Now for this you need a teaspoon and a tablespoon. Now I use these measuring spoons because I know I'm going to get the same every time. You don't have to have these, just use a normal teaspoon and a tablespoon. And that's pretty much all we need. Well, I'll show you how to make it, and as we make them, I'll show you then how we can turn from making a curry dish to making a smoothie, and then back to a curry dish. So these things are easy to start, you know exactly where you are, and hopefully, as we go on, you'll see how these dishes can be adapted and how you can start to get a little bit more, oh, I wonder what I can make with that, rather than the fear of how is it going to happen. So, before I start cooking, no matter how I'm feeling, but particularly when I'm not feeling 100%, I always just start with just breathe. Just breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, big deep breaths, just to get yourself calm, just to get yourself a little bit like, okay, I can do this. Then I use a visualization technique, and please, I'm not going all guru on you. I just want you to say, this is what I do. So if I'm thinking, I can't do this, I'm not in the right frame of mind, I just close my eyes, I see a kitchen dining table, and there around that table are my 2 children and my wife. They're laughing, my food's in the middle of that table, I'm bringing it over, and I'm putting it on that table, I'm sat there. Everybody's eating, everyone's sharing, everyone's laughing, everyone is having a great time. That is the memory I keep, that's the vision I keep, because that makes me feel like, oh yeah, this is what it's about. So whenever you're having a bit of a rough one or a bad one, I always have that picture. I call it the 4 dining chairs, because it's just my family sat around the table eating the food I've made, and they're just enjoying stuff. And there's no, oh, what's Dad doing? Where is he? What's happening? It's actually, we're all there. So visualize as much as you can, breathe again, and then the most important thing, your Cookfulness playlist. So music is hugely important to me. It always has been, and it always will be. I used to play in a band years ago as a drummer. Unfortunately, can't do that anymore. But music's always been hugely influential, as it is in everyone's lives. You remember things from music you hear. The tendency when you're not feeling great is to go with music that's got pretty bad memories attached to it, things you wish you'd done, things you wish you hadn't done. That, I've been there, I've done it. Knock that on the head. Go for music that you love. It's got great memories attached to your wedding songs. It could be songs from birth of children, music when you're down the pub with your mates, all kinds of great music, things that happen, just great music. Get that, make yourself up a Cookfulness playlist. Go for stuff that's going to get you going, it's going to make you happy, it's going to make you feel strong, make you feel like, here we go, the memories are going positive. Everything is about having a great time while you're cooking. Now, I have different playlists for different days. So in the weekdays, when things were needed a little bit more speedy, when the kids are normally at school, I go for slightly faster music. So I'll have some rock music, I'll have all kinds of things, it doesn't matter, but stuff that's short and sharp to get me going. For the weekends, particularly on Sunday, I tend to go for a really good album, so you can have a good listen to a great album. Songs you've probably forgotten about, but listening to an album is brilliant, especially when you've got time to do, and if you're doing a roast dinner, etc. But mix it up, go with whatever you like, get the music up. Please, 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 whenever you're going to cook, get your music on, get it as loud as you're allowed. Don't be afraid to sing. If you can't sing, it doesn't matter, just like the cooking, just go for it. Give yourself a chance to say, right, this is my safe, my happy space, I am going to enjoy this. So get the music on, get your visualization, get ready, and here we go. Hi, as you can see, I have magically appeared at my kitchen stove. So what we're going to do now is a very quick curry sauce. And first things first, playlist on. Nice bit of music, it's got to be done. So, my trusty frying pan. I don't want it too hot. A medium heat is all you need. A little bit of oil in the pan, not too much. Just wait for that to heat up. Hope you can see this all okay. Now, first things first, onions. Now, onions, I'm sure you've seen this before, onions make flavour, and in curries, really make the flavour. So, here you can see I've got a cup of frozen onions, and they're going into the pan. Give that nice sizzle. Now, onions, if you put them on too high a heat, they'll start to burn very quickly, and then you don't get flavour, you just get burn. So get them nice and low and slow. Be brave, just leave them as long as you can. So it's important when you're planning to do any type of dish with an onion base to it, give yourself enough time for the onions to really get the flavour in. So I would say a good 10 minutes minimum if you can. If you can leave it longer, do. But just watch that you don't get them to burn. So nice and low heat, let them go, let them go, let them sing. But the best ingredient, time. So you need to make sure you're planning ahead for this one. Now as you can see, I'm doing most of this thing with one hand because I've got my other hand holding me upright. So hopefully it shows you can do these things. Now, I'm going to do a bit of telly magic. Just assume that this has been going for a good 10 minutes. You'll see them start to change a bit translucent. You get a lovely smell of onion. So next is some garlic. Now 1 teaspoon, and I'm using the chopped that I showed you because I haven't got the energy to do a full garlic clove. And then 1 same teaspoon, and I'm putting in some ginger paste. Use fresh ginger if you want to. In that goes. Give it a little stir around. Oh, I wish you could smell this. Fantastic. Now, next thing is garam masala. As I said to you, garam masala, great stuff. I'm just going to hang away. So 1 teaspoon. And don't worry if you put a bit much in. It's fine. It's flavour, it's flavour. And again, another teaspoon of curry powder. I've gone mild, but do it to the strength you like, but I would suggest you start with mild first and don't blow your head off before you've had a chance to enjoy it. So, just let them go, get everything mixed together. Peppers, now again I'm using the frozen ones. In they go. And just mix it to combine it. Don't give it too much of a nudge because you'll start to lose the heat. So just give it a chance to get the heat in there. Let it sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. It does smell amazing. I'm sorry, but it does, and you'll get it when you do yourself. It's that garam masala, those mixed spices, they're fantastic. Let it sizzle. About 5 minutes is all you need, just to let it combine, get the flavours in. And you can see this is pretty simple so far. We've not really done anything mind-blowing. Next in, a bit of, you're going to wonder what on earth I'm doing here, but yogurt. It's just Greek-style yogurt. Turn the heat right down, and then 4 tablespoons to 3, 4 of yogurt. And again, if you've overheated it somewhat by putting too much spice in, yogurt's really good for getting that back. Give it a combine round, and you don't want it too hot, otherwise the yogurt might start to split a bit, but it doesn't matter. Give it a good combine, and then last in is 250 mils of veg stock. It's just from a cube, nothing exciting. Now that is your curry sauce. Now all we do, leave it, let it simmer away, don't boil it, you just want it to simmer away for 20 minutes. You don't want it to dry up, but just enough, you'll start to smell it change and the spices start to go in. Now if you are going to serve this straight away, which you can as it is, what's nice to do is a little bit of fresh coriander. Don't put it in now because it'll go all black and horrible. So only put the fresh herbs in at the very end in this sort of curry. Dried herbs and spices at the beginning, anything fresh, leave it till the end. 1, it's a nice garnish, 2, it keeps the colour, and 3, the flavour's a lot better. So I'm just going to leave that, that's ticking away. While that's happening, I'm going to move on to the smoothie. So, for a smoothie, this is again just the base. It'll taste okay, but it's just your base. So start with banana. Half a banana. All we need to do is chop it roughly because it's going to go in and whiz it. Half a banana in. Okay? Then some orange juice. 100 mils of orange juice. Then another yogurt, 150 mils this time around of yogurt. Let's have a look how we've got there. Nearly. So 150 mils of just plain yogurt. A bit more. A little bit more. There we go, 150 mils of plain yogurt. And it goes. Now, use the same dish here, the same bowl, because I'm going to put now just water in, cold water, 150. So the same amount of water as there is yogurt. Back in a sec. Okay, and then that goes. Now, that is it. Now, I've got one of these lovely blenders, so you can whiz them up and put whatever you like in it or whiz it. If you haven't got one of these blenders, don't worry, because instead of a smoothie, you could make a roughie. So all I would say is get an overripe banana, if you can, one that's really squishy, get it in, and then add all your liquids, and just give it a good shake. If you can give it a mash, but just give it a good shake up, and you'll get the same result. So I'm just going to whiz this up, excuse the noise for 2 seconds, let's turn it on, that helps. And that is it. So we have here a very simple banana smoothie. Now, as I say, on its own it tastes alright, it's not bad. But this, if you make this in advance, you can freeze it, so you can make loads if you like, and put it into reusable containers, put it in the freezer. And then, night before, bring out what you want, and then you've got the base ready. Now, what I would say with this is you need to get some good cold fruit into it. So I use the mixed red fruits, frozen fruits that you get in the supermarket. You can get tropical ones, you can get all kinds of stuff. Just start putting bits in. It'll change the colour, which is great, it also adds the flavour. But if you use this same base every time, I guarantee you'll have a wonderful smoothie. Now just watch how much fruit you put in. If you put a lot in, it might get a little bit sticky, so you might need to add a bit more water. But again, use this, put it in the freezer or keep it in the fridge, keep it for a couple of days. When you're ready, put in some nice frozen fruits and whiz it up. Now if you haven't got one of these, it's okay, you've done your roughie. Now get some of your frozen fruits, try go for the smaller ones, because massive pieces of strawberry aren't going to work that well. So small berries, put them in as frozen, give it a shake, put it in the fridge, leave it for a couple of hours, and then it will have gone from rock hard fruit to reasonable fruit, and again it'll taste fantastic. It's just slightly rougher than a smoothie. And that is a very, very simple way to start the day. Fantastic. Start playing with it. You can put in seeds, nuts, if you're okay with seeds and nuts. Put all kinds of things in. Bit of nutmeg's delicious, cinnamon's fantastic, 5 spice. Just have a play, but always start with the same base, and you're guaranteed a winner. Okay, so back to the curry. Now, hopefully you can see this. It's starting to come down a little bit. Now, just assume that that's been going for 10 minutes. You'll know because you'll see it's just a little bit thicker. Once it's done, turn the heat off and just let it sit there. Now with this again, you can just leave it like that and serve it, and it's lovely poured over some cooked chicken, which would be delicious. Or you can let it go completely cold, put it in the freezer. You've then got a curry sauce in the freezer ready for you whenever you need it. So you're having a really bad day, then you can just get it out of the freezer, defrost it, you've got a lovely curry sauce, heat it up, whatever you've got, bang it in. Lovely with noodles, lovely with rice. Now, what I'm going to do in the next session, hopefully you'll still be with me for the next one, I'm going to take this base curry sauce recipe and show you what you can do with it. So with the addition of 1, 2, 3 herbs and spices, how you can change it from a very base but delicious curry sauce into a really lovely one. So that'll be on the next one. Also on the next one, I will hopefully be looking at how to make a lovely tomato sauce. So a tomato sauce, again, extremely versatile. You can use it in pasta, you could use it for lasagna, just as a straight sauce. It's fantastic also cooked down just to replace tomato ketchup. So again, a very versatile one I'll do next. It's homemade again. Once it's cooked, you can freeze it, you can use it whenever you want. So that will be on the next one. So I hope you've enjoyed my little foray into Cookfulness. It's been fun doing this. I've been a bit nervous, I have to be honest, but I hope it's come across okay. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the festival. I really hope you get lots out of it. What I would like to do, if you can, if you are willing to have a go at some of these things, please do. And send in any questions you have about what went right, what went wrong, and I'll try and answer them all ready for the next one or the next session. Somehow I'll do a question and answers. And so if anything hasn't worked or you found something really difficult, or just please say it. I'm not precious about anything, so please do say whatever it is you want to know, and I will answer truthfully for everything I can. So send the questions in, I'll do my best to answer them all. And if you're feeling brave, take a little picture of what you've made, send it through, and remember, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it doesn't matter. The fact is that you made it, you made this, you should be incredibly proud of yourself. Make sure you give yourself a chance to say how well done you've been, and make sure whoever's around with you, your family, your loved ones, whoever, anyone, tell them what you've done, tell them, I just made that, I made that, look, taste it. This then, as a base, you can do all kinds of things with. So it's just a bit of practice, just getting the right ingredients. Again, we haven't used many ingredients, but a delicious little curry sauce, a smoothie base, and you're off. So good luck everyone, I really hope you enjoy it. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a good day, bye.